So let me show you this real quick here, everybody. Now you're going to see this folder. I did not release it to the public yet. You're all getting an early view, but there's going to be a folder called Safe to Say Something. And there's a PowerPoint and a PDF. They're the same thing. Some people like to view their documents in PDFs. Some of them like to view them as a PowerPoint. There's a video, and then there's an assessment. So, and then you're going to see tomorrow, you're going to see the assessment for it, like, you know, an upload area to do the assignment. So I'll give you a little bit of an idea. I'll take you to the website real quick. So for those of you that have not heard of it, has everybody heard about the unfortunate event of like Sandy Hook, the mass shooting that occurred some years back? So the people of Sandy Hook got together and created this website, app, phone number for students that, and from what I gather about the Sandy Hook event, there were warning signs, and nobody either said anything because they were afraid that they were going to be snitches, or they just didn't know who to talk to. And unfortunately, this is something that probably could have been prevented. But so now, out of something horrible becomes something good, where this website was created to help people. It can help you, it can help your friends, family members, people you don't even know. But it's also a big thing in Pennsylvania, but it's across the country. And it basically runs by, you know, there's a ton of facts and there's a ton of resources out there. I actually have a PowerPoint that I'm going to go over tomorrow, but I'll share this link. Actually, I could put it in the chat right now just to kind of, if you want to spend a few minutes afterwards checking it out. So it's in the chat right now. But you're going to use this as a resource to get, you know, statistical information, the logo, screenshots, you know, things of that nature. And I'll show you how you can do all that. Let me write that down too. All right. All right. Okay. So this was kind of something that we were asked to do, but like I said, I see a lot of value in it. So I've literally turned it into an assignment. So it's something that is beneficial, and it's going to have a piece for your portfolio. So not too bad. So it works on, let me go to my folder real quick. There we go. I'll just open this real quick. So this is kind of my, I'll drag it over in a second. All right. So moving this over to here, and as I said, I'll go over it tomorrow, but this goes behind 3 basic principles, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. You have to look for warning signs and threats, okay? And that's probably the biggest thing. You would be surprised, things you might hear people say that you may not take seriously, but sometimes you have to. Now, you may or may not know this, but as a teacher, I'm what's called a mandated reporter. And that means I'm basically your guardian while you're in school. Now, if I heard you say, like Jordan, you know, let's say Jordan, for example, is like, well, you know, I swear I'm going to kill that kid if he says something to me one more time. Now, does Jordan mean it? Probably not. But as a teacher, I still have to say something to somebody. And that could be something as simple as going up to Jordan and say, look, man, I heard you, I overheard you. Is everything okay? Like, yeah, the kid just is getting on my nerves. And maybe it's something he could go and talk to a counselor about, or it's something that he and I can deal with right then and there. Now, over the years, I've kind of learned what's serious and what's not, but I don't even take that chance anymore. So it's about being available to listen and see what's going on around you in terms. And then the next part, and this is probably the most important, is you have to act on it. If you hear something, say something, or I'm sorry, you hear, observe, read something on social media, and you're like, somebody else will deal with it. I'm sure they'll say it. It's kind of up to you, and it is. It's a big person responsibility to do something about it. Now, I can't stand it when people say, you know, you're a rat, you're a snitch. I can't believe you said something. You know, maybe somebody shared a video or you saw an Instagram video of a kid getting beat up and everybody thinks it's funny. You know, that poor kid probably doesn't. And there's nothing wrong with you as an individual saying that's not right. I don't appreciate that, and sending it on to someone that could deal with it. Then, you know, that's something, you know, that's an adult thing to do. And then the third part, like I said, is the second part to that is to actually say something about it. Going to the right people. You can go to a friend, a parent, family member, school administrator. It's not like you have to go and run to the police every single time you hear something. But you know, just trying to figure out. We're going to kind of cover, you know, what could be kind of observed as threats or warning signs. You know, when you do decide to make a decision to act upon it, where do you go? Who do you talk to? And those are all the different things we're going to go over. Now, what I intend to do with this assignment is I'm actually going to turn it into like a marketing campaign. So what I'm going to ask everybody to do is I will show you some campaigns that exist out there, and how to kind of, there's some really great marketing concepts of all time. And these aren't really kind of fitting of something like this nonprofit. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time and look for some really good resources for you to look at. But essentially, what is a marketing Mr. T cereal? There you go. So, you know, what is a marketing campaign? It's a layered attempt to get you to either buy a product, learn about something, to get educated on something. So, you know, what are some of the things that could be used for a marketing campaign? Put that in the chat. I'll give you 1 minute to put it in the chat. Like, what are some common things used to do marketing campaigns? Because I'm going to eat my oatmeal for 1 minute while you put stuff in the chat. But just think of some common everyday things of how people get their idea, point, thing they want to sell across to other people. You know, back in the day, there was only one or two things that you could use to get your campaign out for other people to see. Okay. So I see some good ideas in there, but what are some more concrete ways? Like, if I want to market a product to all of you, what am I going to use to sell you my product? Like that 30-second commercial you all just did. What are some of the tools at my disposal that I could use to market my campaign? Awesome. Social media, bam. Word of mouth. Word of mouth is okay. For me, it's fine because I have a big mouth, as you all know. But that tends to be a lot of footwork, a lot of getting out there. Radio is awesome. Good one. Poster's a great one too. So those are some very basic things that are out there. Radio ad, a commercial that you just made, the internet, social media. I would probably say the biggest thing that's out there now is social media. You know, slogans are a great way to get your marketing campaign out there. And I'll show you, like I said, I'll show you some really good links to some. But I'm actually going to cover tomorrow, and some of the students already did it, is to do a marketing campaign, okay, for the Safe to Say initiative, whether it be a radio commercial, a video commercial, a poster, social media posts. So I'm going to go over and kind of tell you the three things or one or two things I want over these next 2 weeks. Well, a poster is definitely one of them, because posters are easy things to see when you're walking around school. But we're going to discuss some important things. You know, there's some, like these links I'll share, 8 easy steps for marketing. You know, how to market, determine your target market. That is such a big deal. When you do the Safe to Say, put it in the chat for me real quick. if I'm marketing the Safe to Say program, who do you think my target audience is? What age group? Yep. Thanks. Yep. Giovanni, Jordan, Josh, all of you, Steve, teens. Use, all use. So yes. So you have to imagine, well, what am I going to do to market this? Am I going to probably use social media? Yeah, probably. Um, I wouldn't print ads in the newspaper, right? Does anybody get newspapers anymore? Probably not. So it's a matter of trying to understand who your audience is. Now, when you make the poster, are you going to use a lot of boring colors and things like that and just all text?
Nah.
Absolutely. No. You want to use bright graphics, colorful, charts and things if you have a statistic that you want to get out. So you just have to figure out who your target audience is. So that's a really big thing. And then skipping over to 3 is you create your marketing materials. And that's what we're going to kind of delve into tomorrow. So we'll have all the first level students, such as yourselves, you'll probably work on poster, and then other students could do video and radio. Now, if you want to get completely carried away and do multiple things, that's great. But I'm really going to just kind of set out certain things for you to do over that period of time. And that's great. Like you can, I'm putting stuff, I keep thinking of cool things. All right, hold on. Page, Instagram. So I have these cool things, and I'm sure you've seen them. They're templates. It looks like an Instagram post. You're going to put a photo in it. You're going to write the post. I have, does anybody know what a landing or a splash page is for a website? It's the very first page that you see when you go to a website. Like if you went on Nike's website, you would see this big page open with a shoe and it says, just do it. That's the landing page or the splash page. That takes you right where, you want to be to the homepage. And then you go in and you start shopping. But I have templates for those things and you're going to kind of create some cool stuff with that. So that's going to be the next big project. But please make sure, like I said, you did the other projects that I needed you to do. But does anybody kind of have any questions at this point as what I'm asking you to do? Okay. So I'm going to jump back over here. So that's it. So like I said, full steam ahead tomorrow. We're going to try and get all the students to get involved tomorrow across the program. And we're going to learn actually over these next 2 weeks, we're going to learn about marketing, a marketing campaign. Why is that important? Well, if you want to work in the video industry, if you want to work in the sound industry, it's all about marketing, right? You want to be able to market yourself or market the person that's paying you to create their music video or their song. So it's really up to you to kind of understand things like target audience, who you're marketing to, what are your marketing materials going to be. That all depends on cost. If you want to do full color brochures, it's a lot more expensive than making a poster. Okay. So it's all about learning, steps like creating a tagline or a slogan like Steve referenced, which is awesome. So it's all about knowing there's just like changing a tire, there's steps involved. When you do a marketing campaign, you follow step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's great. And I do it all the time. Actually, if you permit me, I'll share something with you one more time. I'm going to go in here and show you something real quick that nobody else is going to see. All right. So I'm going to share this screen with you again. I'm going to pop back over. Okay. So let me just set this up real quick. Okay. So I'm going to show you this website. Actually, I'm sorry. Now, look, I get it. I know a lot of you are not on social media, or I'm sorry, on Facebook, because, Facebook's for old people, right? So I'm going to show you this, though. And I actually still do freelance work, right? Everybody knows what freelance is, AKA side hustle. Freelance work is money you make on the side doing work. Like say, so I may go to Alex and say, look, man, I want to freelance you for 2 weeks to come to my bakery and photograph all my cakes and donuts so I can make a poster for everybody. That's freelance work. It's not full time, but it's a great way to make money on the side. And sometimes you can get contracts that last hours or years. Okay. So I make a little bit more, of a second income doing social media. This is a actual friend of mine, and he is paying me to build his website and do his marketing for him. So he's a family-owned electrical business. He's an electrician. Here's the website that I created for him. With all the different services that he offers, who he is, testimonials like good reviews from people. So this stuff takes a lot of time to build, and then links to like Google. So you can go to the services page, shows you all the different things that he does. So I started that. Well, the next big thing, and people my age still use Facebook a lot for referrals. So as you can see here, I got a picture of his van. I got the logo on there. I photoshopped it because the van was in the shop. It had just gotten cleaned up. And you can see that I go and I just did a post right here asking people to do reviews for him, because getting good reviews online really helps to get you on Google's main page, if you didn't know that. I've also done posts here, because it's cold in the winter. Does anybody here use like those little portable electric heaters? Some of you might, some of you might not. So I have one right next to my desk because it gets a little bit cold in my office. But, I do a thing on there talking about, be really careful when you're using a portable heater. I created this graphic, never use extension cords, never, sleep next to one. Don't let your little brother or sister pick it up and throw it. But this is what could happen. So I do marketing for him, and he's generated some good business. Now, if you remember, if you haven't heard, across the country right now, it is a mess with all this cold weather, freezing rain, sleet. I don't know if you know this, Texas has a foot of snow, which is almost unheard of. And the problem with Texas is nobody owns coats. There are no plow trucks. So some of these people, there's over 4 million people without power, which is unbelievable. So I did a post knowing about current events and what's going on right now, that if you lose your electric, it's good if you can have a generator, if you can afford it. Well, this guy installs generators. That when the power goes out, the generator automatically kicks on, and then you have power when nobody else does. So, like I said, if you'd have told me, 15 years ago that I would be doing marketing for people online, I don't know if I'd say I'd believe you, but this is a great source of income. There are people that make thousands of dollars a month doing this for each client. Okay. I put funny pictures in saying, do you have an old tired ceiling fan? This was actually a ceiling fan in Florida where it was so hot and humid, it literally melted. But I use it to be funny. Like, hey, you need a new fan? The old one's looking tired. This is my buddy Larry. He'll install the fan, good as new. Okay. So this is the reason why I show you this, is because, marketing campaigns aren't as in-depth or complicated as you might think. Anybody can do marketing campaign, but it's having the knowledge of, who am I going to try and promote this to? Now, I would not use Snapchat to promote this company. There's not many teenagers looking for an electrician. Okay. Facebook, a lot of people my age, a lot of millennials and up. Millennials are starting to buy houses now. They don't know how to do electrical, they hire somebody. Okay. So it's all the matter of doing that. Excuse me for 2 seconds. I have to text this. Okay. So that's all I wanted to show you though. But it's trying to figure out who your target market is, what is your method of marketing going to be, what's your plan, and how are you going to get it out there. So that's what I'm going to kind of get into tomorrow. So I'll let you guys go for today. If you have any questions or whatever, you can always hit me up now, later. But tomorrow is the big day. So please be available. I'm going to roll this out a little bit more in depth for you. And then we'll go from there. Okay. Is that good? Everybody good? next big project. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good times. We're going to do a group hug at the end. It's going to be awesome. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for being in here today. I appreciate it. I missed you guys. And I will see you all tomorrow.